Hello again, and not from my front porch, obviously. I'm in the elevator lobby of the 14th floor of the Gaylord National Resort in National Harbor, Maryland. It's just a few minutes outside of Washington, D.C. I'm here for the ATD Best Awards, which is the awards that ATD gives for those in the training industry who have demonstrated best practices that we all can make use of. And I get to help select the award winners every year, so I enjoy coming to the event as well and hearing them actually present what they've done and getting a chance to share in the giving of the awards to those individuals. It's always a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And I learn a lot too. But I also wanted to show you, I'm not in my room, I'm in the elevator lobby, as I said, because I wanted to show you the view of the Potomac River outside here. It's a little better view than from my hotel room. And so in case you were curious, this is my hotel room, because I mentioned that I wasn't filming from my hotel room because the view wasn't as good. Well, you know, you might have been curious, well then, what's wrong with your hotel room, Paul? There's nothing wrong with my hotel room. See, here's the very comfortable king-size bed. Here's the chair. Here's the window out here. Now I'm going to take you over. It's a little sunny out now. The sun's coming in from that side over the Potomac River. So I'm going to hopefully show you what my view looks like because yeah, with the sunshine. Well, anyway, we'll see. So I'm going to bring over here. Hopefully it will adjust so you can see. See, that's kind of what I see looking out in the morning. See, I'm looking at the top of the convention center. But if I come back over here, then I'm looking out towards the Potomac River. Hopefully you can see the Potomac River out over there. So check this out. Isn't that awesome? Now, off in the distance, you can see a pointed obelisk-looking building thingy over there. That's for George Washington. That's part of his grave recognition area. But you can see over there all of the, you know, that's the DC metro area. Now, obviously, you don't see a lot of the monument things, but maybe we'll see some of those in a little bit. I don't know that I'll get to any of them this trip, though, because really this trip, this is a one-day trip. I'm just here today, and then I fly back to Des Moines tomorrow. So I don't think I'll get a whole lot of chance to get out and about and around. But you can see, I was just looking here, you can see off in the distance, I think I can show you. Maybe you can see way over past that Ferris wheel. You can see way over, and you can see the Washington Monument way off in the distance. I think you can see that. I can see it. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but so that's how close we are to the different things in the area. But anyway, I got to get going actually to the ATD Best event so that I don't miss on the reason I'm here. So I'll be showing you some other stuff because there's some other cool things here as well, and maybe introduce you to a few people. We'll see. Yes, indeed, I do believe I have found the place. Yep, all signs seem to point to that effect. Literally. But wait, there's more.
And even if we're a little bit more realistic with ourselves, regardless of your generation, I bet you most of us in here, however long your career's been in place, you've probably changed jobs every few years, if not every few months, in terms of not maybe the title, but the nature of the work and what you're doing, because you're always learning and growing. So I think we need to change the conversation away from training gets you a promotion, or training is about moving up in an organization organization and expand that conversation to talk about what learning and growth does for you, what it can do for your CV, and also the systems and processes that we have within HR have to evolve to meet that changing employer-employee contract as well. So when we think about even the words talent pipeline or talent pool in particular, it's a little ingenuous of us to say we're going to develop you and then we're going to wait to pluck you out of the water when we want you. And until then, just hang out and stagnate in some ways, right? We really need to be thinking about a talent stream and streaming our talent as this living, breathing thing through the organization and through everyone's careers, because it's not that we're just waiting to hold on to people or they're waiting for us. We need to start renaming that and reframing that conversation and talking with people about development in terms of their own growth and how they can be more effective in their careers, and stop holding on to them, worrying that they're going to leave us, right? We need to look at it as a lot more of this more flexible, dynamic organization, and even across organizations. So there's, I liked your idea of sort of the welcome back program, because this is the whole idea, is I can go get development, but maybe there isn't a role for me. Maybe there's not a business need, so I need to go somewhere else. And I mean, raise your hand if you've gone somewhere else because you weren't getting the development you needed. It can be, right? So most of us have that recognition that sometimes the organization isn't where you are, and that's okay. And we have to be a little bit more okay with that, but I think we have to have an overt conversation with our talent about that being okay. And here are the roles that are available. Here's where we can help you grow, but there's no automatic, salary raise, grade level promotion, title change just because you have acquired new skills or capabilities. So, soapbox.
So I'm here now with Kristen Fife, who is the brains behind the operation for the ATD Best Awards. And I'm, as you all know, because I've talked about it many times, I'm really happy to be able to be one of the reviewers that gets to help with selecting the winners, not only because it's really great to select the ones that actually win, but it's kind of fun to even read the ones that don't actually make the final cut, because sometimes I steal ideas, learn things from them on occasion too.
Now we know where we get your content. Okay, all right.
Well, they say the best trainers are the best thieves. And if you're going to steal, you might as well steal from the best. See? See, you like the way I did that? So anyway.
I can't keep up with you.
So I thought but seriously, Kristen works for ATD, and she coordinates this program as well as the Excellence Award program. Excellence in Practice Awards, which are given out at the International Conference and Expo in May, when that time frame comes around. But so here we are right now, we're doing the Best Awards, and I thought I'd let Kristen talk about the awards, because she's in charge. So tell us all about what the Best Awards are for.
So Best, I like to reckon, are like our Oscars. And we are looking at, if you were to break Oscars into categories, this is like Best Picture. So it's all of the things about talent development in organizations that are working. So it's not just a particular program like our Excellence in Practice program.
Yeah.
This is about several programs that are working. Do you have executive buy-in? Do you have a strategic part in the conversation about where the company is going? Are you measuring well? And what you're measuring, does it actually matter? Are we getting to level 3, level 4, level 5? Do you have a strong evaluation strategy in place? So all of those things, what are you doing that's innovative? How are you changing performance management, social learning? How are you using that when we're expecting to see amazing things happen with our best award winners? And I think by and large, we do see amazing, apparently because you're stealing from them. But the other thing that I love about this program is that this year we have 40 winners and 19 of them are from outside the U.S. So this is a global program.
That's the other thing I wanted to make sure we emphasize, that this isn't just something that, is just here within the United States, that, we recognize a few companies here and there. This literally is an international award.
Yeah, it is. And just to give you a little taste of how amazing some of our colleagues are doing around the world, we have a winner this year who has an attrition rate, Paul, of 1.05%.
Ooh.
That means people love being there.
That's a company to learn from.
And they love learning there because it is a culture that they have. So we're really looking at companies that have cultures of learning in place and who are really kind of leading the field in what it looks like to have best practice.
Well, and another example of that, of what's going on here today. During the day, there's these sessions where award winners get a chance to talk about what it is that they're doing, the best practices that they've done, so we all can hear what exactly they did that they won. And then tonight, there's the awards, the actually ceremony and banquet thing for that. But the first session I sat in on today, it was had a panel discussion, and the 3 panelists that were on there, one was from the United States, but she was with Western Union, which I think she said is in like 53 countries or something like that. And so is a huge global-based initiative that they were talking about. But then the other 2 panelists, one was from a company based in Hong Kong that's present in a lot of other Asian basin countries. And then the other one was based in Pakistan and had offices in other countries, so I didn't catch where all of his offices were. But still, on one panel, in one session, in one room, you had someone from the United States, Hong Kong, and Pakistan, all talking about the same concept, the same principle of being able to handle talent development, of building the pipeline. That's what it was. I was blanking on what you knew what I was trying to get to. but still, that's the amazing part about this is that there's that level of opportunity to learn from that broad scope of people and to interact, to make connections with new peers.
We did.
We
changed the format a little bit. So all of our sessions are panel sessions, which means that everybody who's in a session is hearing from at least 2 and probably 3 award winners and are able to ask questions about things that matter to them related to that topic, which I think is a real compelling piece of our Learn from the Best conference.
Yeah, well, I
we
feel
say
like
there's
I'm learning
nothing
for the
like
best.
it under the ATD umbrella, and there really isn't, because it is hands-on with your peers, talking about stuff that you are facing every day.
So, and obviously not everybody that watches, probably very few people who watch my blog. Actually, there's very few people who watch my blog. But for the few people who watch it and are in the training profession, really seriously consider whether your organization is doing something to submit for the best award. Because many years back, I chaired a committee that ATD has for chapter level folks, the chapter recognition committee, and it's about recognizing best practices that chapters do, so that other chapters can learn from what they do. And one of the biggest obstacles we had to overcome was we'd hear about a chapter was doing something inventive, and we'd say, hey, you should submit for an SOS award or for an award from the committee, and they would say, it's nothing special. Everybody's doing this kind of thing. We're not unique. And it'd be like, a lot of times people don't really recognize the value of their own creativity.
They're doing. And the other thing that we know too, Paul, is that people coming into the workforce are looking for companies who are going to grow them. And so this is a value proposition for anybody in the talent development space. It's how you distinguish yourself in a very competitive market. And I think that is another piece of why getting your stuff out there and sharing the good work that you're doing really matters.
Yep. All great stuff. So
what she said.
What she said. Yeah, because she says it's so much better. So anyway, thank you for taking the time, because she's obviously busy here today too, because this is, like you said, it's the Oscars, but she's in charge then of the Oscars, and someone has to keep making sure all the balls stay in the air.
And everybody stops talking at the right time.
Yeah. And that could be a challenge too, because it's one thing to go to an event or a conference where you have a speaker and then you have a room full of people and asking questions. That's a challenge in itself. But when it's a room full of other people who for a living talk, then
And do what you do.
Yeah. So because like again, the first session I went to was the first one, maybe the second one. Anyway, one of the sessions I went to, no, it was the first one. There was a gentleman, well-meaning gentleman. I don't mean to pick on him, but he said because the coordinator person, the moderator, she said, well, our time is about up, so we should be wrapping. And this guy raised his hand and says, well, it looks like we have about a minute. So I have a question, just a quick question for you. He proceeded to use up pretty much the whole minute laying out his question, and then it was this really deep, involved question.
5 minutes later.
And so that's what happens when it's a room full of trainers.
That's okay. But thank you, Paul, for sharing your time and expertise with the profession by being a reviewer. We're always looking for new reviewers.
Yeah, and if you're in the profession,
hit me up.
Yeah. She's always for this and the Excellence in Practice Awards.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. It can sometimes be a challenge to read through those, to really process exactly all that's going on, and then you struggle with, hey, this sounds like a really great thing that should get recognized, but then you have to consider the criteria, because again, of course, the main purpose of this is not just the sheer recognition. The purpose is to recognize best practices so that other companies can learn from it and replicate that kind of thing. And so
steal.
Yeah, steal.
Yep.
But so that means though that the submissions have to lay out the kind of information that makes it clear this is something somebody else could build on and use. So anyway, that's all really great stuff. Oh, hey, we have another reviewer here. Come on in here.
Oh God.
And not only is it another reviewer, but his name is Smith.
Let me take a picture of somebody taking a picture.
Come on, get in here, Steve. Get in over here. Here, we're about to Steve.
Hey,
Steve,
there we go.
Steve Smith, who is also a reviewer for the practice for the best awards this year. Do you do the Excellence in Practice Awards too?
I do.
All right. And where are you from, Steve?
Kansas City.
Oh, and see, I'm from Des Moines, Iowa. See, so now you're
And I'm not.
You're sandwiched by the Midwesterners.
There you go.
All right. See, the top quality people, that's where they come from, unless you're from DC. All right. So with that, thanks. Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Do your job better than the day you did it before is a motto for this organization. This 160-year-old company has invested a lot of talent development efforts into helping employees shift into a customer-centric mindset enabled with technology. It's not only a learning shift, it's a culture shift, and it's driving significant business impact. Why? Learning is applied to everyday work, and leaders in the company are owning the people development agenda. A robust orientation program for people managers called Leadership in Action has helped shift perspectives about the critical importance of managing well. All in all, the shift in talent development focus helps the company pursue important principle, the relentless pursuit of better. Please join me in congratulating #1 in the ATD Best Awards, Western Union.
until I see you next time. That's not right. That's it. I'll see you next time from my front porch.